It is on. Maybe that's what Bob's waiting for. Wait for me to get the recording going. I'm going to send him another text message too, or an email.
Yes, I'm on this end. He said he still hadn't received it yet, so I'm sending it one more time. And again, guys, our apologies. We appreciate your patience. As you know, as realtors, life isn't always the way we want it to be, but we're getting it fixed.
That's right. Let's see what we can do here. I'll send it to him too.
Okay.
Control V, Bob.
So how many blondes does it take to get one man on the phone? I see a joke coming out of this somewhere.
There you go. Link for the call.
That's right. If that's the worst thing that happens today, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he's heard from all of us now, hopefully. And I'm gonna. Well, why don't we do? How about since we're talking about wins and some of our good things coming up? Big win. We've got an October 5th through the 7th summit, live or virtual. However you decide to attend, want to attend, absolutely, it will be amazing. And I'm looking at message from Colby, loving this year, ahead of my goals. Hello from Southern Oregon. Yes, you are ahead of your goals, Colby. Great. You're on fire this year.
And we should be all done.
I'm just going to make sure it's not a huge thing now, but make sure if you're talking, we can be muted. It might be. Let's see. Here we go.
No.
Okay. Something about the fire department. Another thing, we also have Blueprint coming up here, June 2nd and 3rd. If you've not marked your calendar for that, it's going to be amazing. We're going to have Mel Robbins speaker. She's absolutely fabulous. 5-second rule. If you haven't read her book, she's going to be on the second day. So that'll be the 3rd of June, 2nd and 3rd of June. If you've not signed up, you want to get signed up for that in the event section. So those are two really great events to get on the books. And I don't think we know the hotel yet for the Dallas Summit event, but that should be coming out this week. It might be coming out today. I don't know it yet. If you do know it, or I don't know about it, let me know.
It's in a convention center in the downtown area. So a really good hotel is the Fairmont, the Dallas Fairmont downtown, and it's super nice. A little bit, they remodel it. It's a little bit old, but the rate is super decent.
And they've got a few really good ones. They've got the Omni down there. We've got another one too called Aloft, ALOFT. And that's another one as well. These are all like 5 to 10 minutes walking distance from the convention center.
Yeah. Okay. We need to get this. Yeah, we got credit.
I can't really, not that it's terribly huge now, but let me see if I can, because Bob's not on yet, but
there we go.
Yay, we made it. Woohoo!
Hey, my friend.
Hello.
Catherine K. We got Sandra and Rick and all of our peeps. We are loving you.
Hello, everybody.
We are glad you found us.
Well, I was looking for crumbs in the woods and could not find my way back home, apparently. So
we were just kind of laughing. How many blondes does it take to get you on the call? So, I think a joke's coming out.
What number were we up to? What number were we up to?
Glad to see you.
Do you want me to just dive right in?
Let's just go for it, Bob. Jump right in the water.
Okay, so basically I'm going to do, if I understand correctly, I'm going to do a little bit about digital mayor strategy. I like to touch first on your IDX website before we drop right into digital mayor. I'm going to touch on some things that are basic level that some of you may be like, yeah, we already know that, but some of you may not know yet. And then we'll get a little deeper and hopefully have some time for questions. Kenny, would you, or Catherine, would somebody monitor the questions? Because I'm not going to be able to see it in the chat on.
I'm going to mute everybody.
Right, please mute.
Please mute yourself, and I'm going to try to mute the whole group, but I don't want to mute Bob. So, okay, that's
Okay.
good. Sorry, Bob.
Better? So
Yes,
Catherine, if you could, Catherine, if you could help me watch the chat or the question and answer while I'm presenting, I won't necessarily see that. So,
you got
okay,
it.
I'm Bob McCraney. I live in Dallas, Texas. I run Texas Pride Realty Group. I've been in business since 2003, and I keep telling people if Facebook didn't exist, I would invent it because I just love to chat with people and keep up with how they're doing. Tom Ferry says money follows eyeballs, right? I put a little bit onto that and say eyeballs follow thumbs. Okay, if I can get people to look at my content by using my thumbs, their eyeballs will follow, and money will come to me. Who else is on the mic? Sorry.
Ya espera ahora.
I'm going to mute all. I'm going to try to mute all, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. We can spend time or money or both in advertising. We cannot afford to spend neither time nor money in advertising. Raise your hand if you agree with that. Does that make sense? Okay, because a lot of people get into this business and they don't have the money and they don't want to spend the time. And I know nobody in this room is like that, but you have to remember you have to spend time or money or both. This is a basic traffic funnel, okay? Basically, we're leading traffic in. We're doing the sales funnel. Top of funnel is waving our arms around, trying to get people's attention to look at us and see that we're interesting and want to work with us as a real estate agent. Once we get traffic, we lead it to number 2, which is our IDX website, okay? After that, we get them into a drip system, which is our number 3 here. We put them into our autoresponder CRM, and we hopefully have our social media feeding this as well. And this is how we close deals. This is a basic engine. I stole the graphic, but it makes sense what we're doing here, right? So I want to start with the IDX first. Then we'll dive into social media. You have to have a place for the social media to go to where they can register and become a client, okay? IDX obviously stands for Internet Data Exchange or Internet Data Display, depending on which part of the MLS, which MLS you belong to. You have to use an IDX registered website to be able to show listings on your website. Some of you have a brokerage website that does this for you, great. There are a ton of providers out there. I'm a huge proponent of Real Geeks and Pro Agent websites because they're relatively inexpensive sites, but all the IDX websites have a lot of them, have a lot of functionality out there.
A la presión.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody, and I'm just going to unmute Bob. Hold on one second. Sorry, Bob. Okay, there we go. Now you should be good, Bob.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so most people have a website that has one page on it. And I always like to represent this as a flower with one petal. Okay, you have the URL, which is the stem. You have the website, which is the base of the flower, and you have one page. And we pay a lot of money to Zillow and Realtor and other places to force people, or Facebook and Google ads, to force people to come look at a flower with one petal, instead of just making the flower bloom and having all these petals for people to naturally be attracted to. Okay, what's the point of paying several $100s a month for a flower with one petal? Let's make some pages, let's make some content so that this blooms out and people are naturally attracted to it. Okay, you can have multiple URLs going to your website. You can have multiple area pages. You can have all sorts of different content on that site that's rich and engaging and organic, and save a lot of the money that you're paying to these large corporations to force people to come to your site, and they bounce back off because there's just one thing to look at. Okay, by the way, there's a whole class I do on IDX. I'm kind of jumping forward in some of the IDX stuff to get to social media, but it's a 2-part, 2-hour thing. And so just forgive me if something isn't seeming connected, just ask questions and I'll try to stitch it back together. An IDX website has to have these components, and I'll screenshot these and send these to Kay and Catherine so you can send them out. It has to have a URL that is descriptive of the market, okay? I have bobmccraney.com, but if you're looking in Dallas, you're not going to find me because nobody's looking for me. So I have to have URLs that are descriptive of my area, geographically descriptive. Okay, the site should communicate with a CRM or should have a CRM embedded. I will also tell you that not all IDXs come with good CRMs, and not all good CRMs come with good IDXs. So sometimes you can marry the two together by using Zapier or something like that. But if you have a CRM that you love, don't jump away from it. Just put this great IDX in place and make the two work together. Talk to your coach about that. Searches on your IDX website must be dynamic, and I'll explain what that is. Basically, the URL as you're constructing it has to have the search within the URL. City equal Dallas, county equal Tarrant, minimum price equal this, that, or the other, so that you can take that URL and plug it into social media and have it work. I'll explain that if you want me to in a bit. It has to force sign-on. Write that down. It has to force sign-on. Do not have a website that does not force sign-on. You will not get clients off of it. We're going to do this whole social media strategy. We're going to pay people to come to our site, and they just bounce right off because we want to be nice and not make them sign in. And I hate to sign in too. No, they have to sign in. Okay. A good website will have area pages. Area pages are about the suburban areas or different parts of your town, things of that nature that you want to talk about and sell houses in. So it has to allow you to do area pages. I know some IDX sites charge you by the area page, and I'm like, that's crazy. I'm already paying for the flower. Why am I paying for the extra petals? It has to also have link pages. Link pages are different than area pages. I can go into that in detail if you want me to on a separate session, but it's just basically where you drop a whole lot of links in there and you can exponentially increase your flower by like 200 pages just by changing some links, and it just makes it that much bigger. All social media posts, pages, videos, everything you do needs to refer back to this site. Okay, when you're doing a video and you're doing it on TikTok or you're doing it on LinkedIn or wherever, you need to put in there your website and force people to come back to this website. Thus, they have to register, and thus you get a client. Okay, a lot of us, myself included, forget sometimes to make that linkage. And so we're doing all this social media work and it's not linking back to where we can hook somebody for a client. Okay, keywords are vital on your website. We'll talk about that if we want to. Keywords are absolutely vital. There's a product called Keywords Everywhere. Keywords Everywhere that you have to have on your Google search. It costs a little bit of money, but it's so worth it. If you're in YouTube, the one on YouTube is called TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy for YouTube, Keywords Everywhere for Google. It will tell you what keywords are trending, and those are the keywords you need to drop into your site and also drop into your social media. The last two on here are do not build a house on land you don't own. If you're running off your broker's IDX site and you're not the broker, don't build on that site. Here's why. You may love that broker. You may never leave that broker. That broker is always going to be your person. But the broker could get a call tomorrow from a different vendor that says, hey, we'll sell you websites for your agents a lot cheaper. And your broker decides to jump from technology A to technology B, and everything you built is gone. Always, always, always own the domain and own the land you build your site on. I've seen it happen to too many agents. Number 10, audit your site. And I will send to the coaches the audit sheet that I have for what they should look for. If your site does not have these elements, leave your site and find a better site. Okay, a lot of us have websites that are just not quite up to par, and you need to know. You may not even know what you're not getting. So I'll send you the audit form, and you can go through that with your coach.
Bob, real quickly, Scott Chang asked, "Is it TubeBuddy and what?" That's his question.
TubeBuddy and Keywords Everywhere. Keywords Everywhere is for Google. TubeBuddy is strictly for YouTube. They do very similar functions. They will tell you what keywords are trending and what's important, and they'll tell you which ones you should use, but they don't work in each other's domain. They're two different products for two different parts of the internet. They both cost a nominal amount of money, but spend it. It's good money to spend. Okay, so I'm going to cover a little bit more about this, and then we'll jump into social media. Number one, your URL needs to be descriptive of the area you want to serve. Okay. One way you can figure out what's best for you. I mean, and like I said, I love Kay, but if I'm moving to California, I'm not going to look up Kay. I don't know to look her up. She's amazing, but I won't find her that way. Okay. I do love Kay. Use Keywords Everywhere to pick your URL. Go out, put in Keywords Everywhere, and then type in, I think I used the example here, Denver homes for sale. Keywords Everywhere brought up and told me that the top trending keywords are houses for sale, Aurora, Colorado, cheap homes for sale, Denver, houses for sale, Lakewood, Colorado. These are the things that people are actually searching for. The other thing you can do is if you have Keywords Everywhere installed, you see Zillow and Realtor and Redfin here. Zillow has 135 keywords attached to this search so that they'll be number one. You can click on that 135 and go steal all their keywords. Put them on your site. You and Zillow now have the same firepower. You and Realtor have the same firepower. If you click here, you can steal, and there's nothing, I mean, if there's a keyword there that says you're part of RE/MAX and you're not part of RE/MAX, don't put the RE/MAX keyword there, but you can grab the really strong keywords that they're using to be number one here. Okay, so the other thing is, if you see these terms are available, go out to GoDaddy and buy them. Go to GoDaddy and type in houses for sale Aurora, Colorado, $11. Is $11 worth getting a client or two? You know that Google's going to rank your site higher if your URL is the thing people are trending. And I love to buy URLs. I own about 300 or 400 URLs. I buy them like real estate because I don't want other people to get them, or I want to use them for future use. So I like to take these lists and just go to GoDaddy and start looking them up. And then that might be the better website name for your site rather than K Fairchild. Okay. 2, it should attach to a CRM. This should make sense. Most of these sites come with a CRM, but if you have a CRM that you love, just bind them together using some sort of Zapier or some sort of feature. A lot of them have integrations together that make them work together. Force sign-in. Force sign-in is absolutely essential. I think I've maybe pounded that into the ground a little bit. So now we're going to move into Digital Mayor. Any questions on that before I move in? I kind of took 2 sessions and jammed them together here.
Bob, Mary Cruz Garcia asked, can you put that on the chat for the tools for Google and YouTube, please?
Okay, I'll do that. I don't have access to the chat right now. Where's the chat? Okay, hold on, here we go.
Or if you just want to send it to me, I'll later after the call, I can send it out.
There we go. How's that? We good? Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we're going to get into Digital Mayor strategy. Digital Mayor is a strategy of covering your town, kind of like the old town crier. It's 10 o'clock and all is well, and he walks around with a bell, ringing the bell through the night. You want to be the person everybody in town knows. You want to be the person that everybody in town goes, oh my gosh, I should call this person. Amber knows everybody in town. I'm going to call Amber. Yeah, I'm randomly picking names off the screen, so thank you, Amber. It's a strategy whereby you create and share posts, reviews, videos, pictures, interviews, blogs, and other content specifically about your town, subdivision, or farm area. The area should be well-defined and local, okay? It should be well-defined. I serve Dallas-Fort Worth, which is 4 major counties and 5 ancillary counties. I have to do subsets of what I do for each suburb, and there's about 42 suburbs. So you have to think locally, not globally. Especially if you're in a large city. If you're in a small town, this will be a lot easier. Content should be specific, interesting, engaging, and tagged to help users and search engines find it. And that's where Keywords Everywhere helps you show what tags you should put into your content. Content should contain links back to your IDX or funnel landing page site. Okay. Next thing on here is, the goal is to deploy content on as many sites as you can manage, but start slowly with one site. Do not overwhelm yourself. Repeat to me, do not overwhelm yourself. If you own Instagram, stick with Instagram for right now. If you're good on YouTube, stick with YouTube. I'm a Facebook fiend. I'm getting into YouTube much more. I'm skipping personally over Instagram because it's just not my jive, but that's, if whatever you're on, do it. If you're TikTok, do TikTok. But don't try to overwhelm yourself by doing all of them at once, unless you're at that mega status where you just got it all down, okay? This strategy should cost you very little in dollars. This strategy should cost you very little. This is a sweat equity strategy, not a check equity strategy. A check equity strategy would be just give Google and Zillow thousands of dollars a month to force them to come to your site and look at the one pedal and log in. That's a check equity strategy. When somebody talks to me about social media and they first want to talk about what their ad spend is, that's not my strategy. My strategy is how much content can I create to naturally attract people to me, okay? And both strategies work, don't get me wrong. If that strategy works very well too. So I'm not dishing anybody. Content should reflect your style. It does not have to be professionally produced. It's a strategy where your personality should shine through, okay? There's a lot of quirky people doing quirky videos, and people love quirky. You don't have to be like Barbara Walters sitting behind the desk and looking absolutely perfect, okay? And I think we have a lot of perfectionists in this profession, yes? We have a lot of people who don't want to make any mistake at all, ever sneeze on camera or yawn on camera like Dylan just did. You don't want to do that in a video. So just be human. Thank you for yawning right at that moment, Dylan. I will always appreciate you for that. So
Just one
There's-
couple questions, maybe, Bob, real quick.
Sure.
Do you recommend having multiple URLs under your main URL?
I personally do. I've heard some people say, well, that will hurt you. It's not hurt me. It's not hurt me at all. I will take a URL that's about Carrollton. I live in Dallas-Fort Worth, but the suburb I live in is Carrollton. I will take a Carrollton URL and shoot it right to the Carrollton page, bypassing my main homepage, take them right to Carrollton. I'll have a URL that's about Craftsman Homes and send them right to a search about Craftsman Homes, bypassing my main page. So I will use the same $250 IDX I pay for each month. And because I can set up unique searches and unique URLs and unique keywords, I basically end up with like 1,000 different websites off the one that I paid for. Cool? Okay. Let's talk about episodic websites. Okay, we're talking about like episodes on TV. If you do a Facebook post, if you do an Instagram story, if you do a LinkedIn post, you're going to get some buzz off of the algorithm for about 24, maybe 48 hours, right? You do a post, people see it for a while, they like and comment, and then that post just dies off and goes away, right? And then you have to do another post. So it's like you're always kind of pumping the chest of the website, horrible metaphor, but you're basically pushing more content every day to create another wave so that more people will sign on and look at it. These are episodic websites. And that's what they're built for, is for you to come back and have more conversations and more content. I want you to also consider that there are appreciating websites. These are sites that do not make you go back and put in more content today to stay relevant. These are sites like YouTube and Google Maps. And yes, Google Maps is the social media site. I will arm wrestle anybody about that. YouTube, you can put a video out there. Google Maps, you can put your content and reviews out there. They get seen by anybody at any time without you having to go back and pump the site again. Okay, so I'm investing heavily in YouTube going forward because it's not episodic. Okay, Facebook, I have to maintain that every day and just keep pumping and pumping and pumping. YouTube, I put stuff out there and it just cruises along. So think about that in your strategy. Here are some common resistance points. Coaches, raise your hands if you've heard any of these. Well, I'm a very private person. I don't want to tell people where I'm having dinner. Nobody cares about my dog. I don't want to post all the time. Right, who's heard that as a coach? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so get over your bad self. This would not be a cultural phenomenon if people were not interested in what you're doing. They love your dog. If you don't have a dog, rent one. If you don't have a new baby, rent one. Find something out there that people love and just you know, can I borrow your dog for a week? That'd be great. I need content on the web. We should totally get into, there could be a sub business about that. Okay, so you want to look for your local business owners. You want to look for your teachers and principals, local shops, restaurants. You want to post pictures of the parades and festivals and holiday lights in your town. You want to drive around, I love this one. Put a dash cam in your car. One, it'll make you a better driver because you're on video. But two, point the dash cam a little to the right and then drive through neighborhoods and start talking about, you know, well, we're in Caroline Hills and these houses are between, you know, 1,500 square feet to 2,800 square feet. They were built in the 1980s and blah, 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 blah. And there's a creek right behind. Just dash cam a suburb and just put that video out there. And then when somebody's looking for a house in Caroline Hills, they're going to roll across your video. Okay. Go to garage sales, farmers markets, start with one platform and then develop out. Content is there to attract people. Be out there making content. Okay. Be the town champion. Make sense? That's Digital Mayor in a nutshell. We could stop with this slide and be done, but there's more. Okay, so start with the geography of your town. This is Dallas-Fort Worth, like I was talking about. I actually live up here in Carrollton, but because I serve the whole county or the whole area, I have subsites for each of the suburbs. I have 51 forward-facing, client-facing Facebook pages. I have 51 client-facing Facebook pages that I service. So I'm always trying to put things out to the different suburban areas. Sometimes it's the same content across all of them. Sometimes it's unique, okay? I would be looking at a map here and I would be pulling up doctor's offices. I would be, and by the way, I love Google Maps for this. Google Maps will tell you where everybody is. If somebody has a home business and they register it, it will show up in the neighborhood. Like this one is a, I have no idea what the business is, but this person has registered a business here. And so I would go send that person a card and say, hey, do you want to be in a BNI group for local home businesses? Get to know this person. I would be looking at all these doctor's offices and things like that. I would be looking at schools. I just go into Google and type in schools, Google Maps, and it'll show me all the schools in the area. I would go talk to the principal of each one. I would find the teacher of the year. I would find the special ed department and find out about, because a lot of people have kids who need special education. Let's find out about what they have to serve. That way, when somebody calls us, we know. And oh, by the way, here's a video with the head of the special ed department or the head of the arts department or whatever you can find. Let's go out and talk to these people. Restaurants, who doesn't like to eat? Seriously, we all love to eat. So if I move to your town, Rick, and I ask you, hey, I know you're going to sell me 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, Rick. Where's the best place to go get Mexican food? You'll know. And you'll have a blog site with the Mexican restaurant and the owner sitting there telling you why it's the best place. Churches. If you're religious or you're not religious, does not matter. Go interview the minister, the rabbi, whoever at the church, and find out what they're about and how they help the community. Mortgage companies, these would be people like home repair, people that we deal with in ancillary businesses. You know, every insurance person loves a realtor. Every lender loves a realtor. Everybody loves a realtor, except for other realtors. So, you know, go out and interview them and have them on your site as well. Set up a time like maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months to interview them again to find out what the market rates are doing now, or to find out, you know, what insurance plans we should have since we have tornadoes and hail and a failing electrical grid when it's 30 degrees. So we should find out what insurance changes we need. Thank you for laughing at the joke, some of you, I appreciate it.
By the way, somebody just said, I love your advice. It's amazing. That was Scott Chang.
Thank you. Who do I owe $20 to? Yeah. Find out where the apartments are in the area. Apartments are either transitional people who just sold a house and they haven't figured out where to live yet. Apartments can also be, that by the way is me, I'm in an apartment right now because I sold my house. I don't know where I want to go next. It can also be people who are looking to become buyers. People who are paying rent right now are paying more than a house payment. And of course, I know we're all overwhelmed with buyers and not enough sellers, but find the apartments because the market will shift at some point. You need to be able to. The other thing is you may have somebody who's like, oh my gosh, we're getting divorced or something's happened in the family. I need a quick apartment. You'll know where to send them. Okay.
Bob, real quickly, Kirsten asked, are there companies that can help set up all this? Who do you recommend?
I don't have a company that does this. I don't know of a company that does this. That would not then sell it to 5,000 other agents exactly in your area, and then you're going to have identical content. This is a sweat equity thing. So if this isn't for you, I get that. It may not be for you, but it's a sweat equity gig, and you can't check equity content. In my opinion, you shouldn't. I do have keeping current matters because that's really, really good, but it needs to show your personality. And if you have somebody else doing this, you're going to show their personality, not yours. We're not selling houses. We're selling trust. Write that down. We're not selling houses. We're selling trust. If they don't trust me, they're not going to buy the house. No matter what I tell them about this great mortgage and this great property, something's not quite right with him. I don't trust him. I'm not going to buy this house. If you have somebody else in between you and your client, you're not building trust. Sorry.
Okay, Kirsten has a little correction. She said, I'm asking about the websites, not the interviews.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just gave you a lecture then you didn't need. For the websites, I would use, I personally am fond of Real Geeks. I don't get a toaster oven for recommending them. There are tons of sites that'll do IDX for you. There are lots of places that'll do posting for you. I don't have a posting company myself. That's something I can do on my own. There are certain chores I don't like, and I do love posting on social media. So, but there are a lot of places you can hire out to do postings. But the website, I'm sure each of our coaches have IDX companies that they like.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't get green stamps for recommending any of them. So,
Yeah, Gina Romano says she likes Agent Image.
okay.
Just some,
And you know, I have coaching clients that are on the whole spectrum. And I'll do Zoom with them and log into their site and help them. So all of them have great features. Some of them just charge a lot more than others, and it depends on what's in your budget and what you need. So I hope that was a vague enough answer that got me through, but I'm not without being too specific. So I should run for office sometime. Okay. Content should be specific and interesting. Video is best. Who has a coach that's told you to do video? Anybody have a coach that's told you to do video? Yeah, do video. Listen to that coach. They're right. Okay. Video is best. I like to do a blog post if I'm doing one about a restaurant or something. Either put in a video, 5 pictures, 2 paragraphs, 2 unique paragraphs. If I'm interviewing somebody who runs, you know, the Greek place down the way, Little Greek, which I love, I don't want to go to their website and rip off their content. This is about the restaurant. This is what no, I want to write up my own 2 paragraphs. It's a small writing assignment. It's not high school. Let's get, you know, we can do it. And that way it's unique, and Google will recognize the uniqueness and put it up there. Always add a link back to your IDX website at the bottom of any reviews you do. By the way, keep your reviews positive. This is not Yelp. Okay, we're not putting in, I hate this dry cleaner. They ripped my shirt. No, that's not what this is for. We need to be positive and uplifting. Okay, if we don't like a restaurant or a place, just don't review them. Okay. We need to have specific tags to tell people what the content is about. Specifically, we want to tell Google what the content is about. Okay. Hashtags tell the computer what it's about. @ tell the computer what people should see it. So there's a difference between doing hashtag and doing @. If I hashtag K Fairchild in a post, K, I'm picking on you. If I hashtag K Fairchild, I'm telling Google this is about K. If I do @K Fairchild in a Facebook post, Facebook knows that all of K's people need to see this post. It's a difference in how it works. So keep up with hashtags and also the @. I can @ Rick Cheever in a post, and all of Rick's friends will start to see it because I've tagged him in it. But if I just put a hashtag, I'm just telling the computer, someday when somebody searches, show this. So it's just a different strategy. And you'll see in here, here's an example where I did a lot of hashtagging, but I also @ Jimmy's Food Store so that Jimmy's Food Store would see it. And so I run a site called Today's DFW, and it's me and 2 other reviewers. And when we review a place, we usually don't tell them we're coming. We just go and do pictures and video and stuff like that. They get so excited. Oh my God, we were reviewed in Today's DFW, and they have no idea. It's just like 3 people on a computer, and we're all sitting around a coffee shop. They think this big, you know, like they've won a glamorous prize or something. And we just kind of giggle. So the other thing to do,
Scott Chang asks, can you @ home buyer?
If there's a group called home buyers, yes. If there's no group or person with you can't @ a topic. You can @ a person or a group. So everybody who's on Facebook, because that's my jam, you probably have a Mercy. What town are you in?
I'm sorry, what, bud?
I'm sorry, I picked on Mercy. I forgot she was muted here. Give me a town. Let's say you're in Detroit. There's going to be a Detroit moms group. There's going to be a Detroit chatter group. There's going to be a garage sale group. There's going to be a fire station group. There's going to be all these groups about your town. Just start @ and putting Detroit and see what pops up. @ Detroit, see what pops up. Detroit, what is it, Lions? I don't do sports. I'm really out of my league right now.
Detroit Lions. It is.
Yeah, I got one right. So @ the sports team, @ the hospital, @ if you want to get a lot of people looking at it, grab the Arboretum, grab the zoo, grab everything about your city and put it in there. Watch your posts go skyrocketing up. Most of these places do not have social media managers to remove the tags. Detroit
And-
Lions may have somebody.
And Eileen asks, why does Google My Business reject my post when I hashtag a city?
I don't know. I'm currently not the owner of Google, so I don't know that answer. When I take them over, I will get her. I honestly, I don't know. But Google My Business doesn't own Facebook and doesn't own Instagram and doesn't own, that's the other monopoly. So yeah. Oh, and when I mention her name, she starts talking to me. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yes, the monopolies talk to each other. This is something we do with our clients here. We do this month in Realty, always be doing videos about your town, about your market. Okay, do a monthly update at minimum. Okay. Content should have a link back. So in this piece of content, I did a hyperlink to their 2 stores. Okay, and at the bottom I mentioned Texas Pride Realty Group. Click on this link to find out more about the homes in this area. So these links are hyperlinks to homes around 720 Jefferson Boulevard in Dallas, and then homes that are around 4951 El Dorado Parkway in McKinney. So that if you could really see the page right now, it would go to my IDX and show a box around these 2 restaurants. You love this food, you love this place, here's where you can live close by. I've also done this for all the metro stops in Dallas. We don't have metro, we have DART, which is not that great of a transit system. But if you want to live near the DART stops, here's every stop on the DART system and where you can live near and have an apartment or have a condo. So this is why IDX is important, because you want to be referring back in all your digital mayor work. You want to be referring back to that IDX so that you hook them and get them. So this would be an example of a digital mayor strategy using an IDX where I just did a box. You could do a polygon, you could draw on, we've all drawn on these maps. And so if you want to say, let's say the restaurant was actually, I think this is actual, so this is 720 Jefferson Boulevard. If they clicked on that link, it would show them everything around 720 Jefferson Boulevard. And if you love that restaurant and you want to live near this great shop, that are currently for sale. They click on 2 houses, they have to sign in, I get a client. That's how this works. Okay, so the goal is to deploy across as many sites as you can manage. Okay, there's a difference in Facebook between professional wall and professional page and personal wall. I like to separate those words. Most people just call it page and page, and it's confusing. You have a professional page and your personal wall. I will tell you, everything in life is personal. Yes, you have to put your open house on the professional page and immediately share it to your personal wall, because that's where it's going to get seen by everybody. We'll go over that later if you need to. Instagram has posts and stories, reels, and IGTV, and Instagram is hot right now. I personally think Instagram has diversified too much in what they're doing to try to keep up with all the other sites, and they've muddied their message a bit, because you don't know whether you're looking at reels or IGTV or stories or what. They've almost put too much into one site, but they're doing that to keep up with TikTok and all the other sites. So they don't ask me questions, but that's my thought. YouTube, absolutely love. Nextdoor, you get really uneven results, because that's where all your neighbors are in one spot, and there's always one Gladys Kravitz person who's running the whole site who doesn't like you, but loves Sally. Sally's posts go everywhere, your posts go nowhere. So unless you are the lead, Nextdoor is really kind of not a great site. Now, here's the problem. If you are the lead, you're going to have everybody squabbling at you about Sally and her posts. Google Local Guides is great. Google Map reviews are wonderful. You can get seen a lot on Google Maps if you review the restaurant you're at, or the food you're eating, or the little store you're at, and you go into Google Maps and you type in the name of the store, and Google Maps shows you the store. There's a place there that says add pictures. Add the pictures, post a review, get seen. You want to be there and be seen when people are doing things. And I'm a huge Google Maps proponent. Meetup is okay. It's great for networking. I put it on here for, I don't know why. Each of these sites have ways for you to acquire audience. Every one of these sites has people you might know. Let's get to might know them. Oh, social media doesn't work. Well, you've only got 25 people on your friends list. Let's talk about that. Oh, I don't know any of these people. Well, how do you ever get new clients? You only get clients you know? Let's go meet new people. So all of these, they're all realtors. Well, who do you think sends you referrals? Find the realtors outside your area and just start doing friend requests. Let's break out of our shell a little bit, okay? Sorry, I've heard these resistance points a few times, so I'm like, ah. Okay, so we've talked about the difference between professional page and personal wall. Everything goes from one to the other, okay? I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here. I like to do something I call Velcro posts. Velcro posts build audience and build conversations. Facebook is a conversation engine, okay? Facebook is a conversation engine. If you just post, I have an open house tomorrow at 123 Banana Street, you're gonna get almost no comments and no likes. You have to post about a puppy, a recipe, a funny story, and then a house. That's the formula. Puppy, recipe, funny story, house. Okay? And you want the puppy, recipe, and funny story to get you a lot of likes and conversation so that somebody will see the house. Because if you have not built up that rapport, the algorithm does not think you like to talk to anyone. The other thing you can do is go comment on somebody else's puppy, recipe, or funny story. So that Facebook goes, oh, these two like to talk. Maybe I'll show them the content now. So I like to do things that draw a lot of attention to my posts. Name a business that closed years ago that you remember. I got 303 comments on that. This one went wild. Testing the Facebook algorithm. Tell me if you see this. They ended up getting over 1,000 comments on it. Yeah, I see it today. And I was like, oh, cool. When somebody comments, comment back. This is the sweat equity part. When somebody comments, comment back. It's not like for like. If Stephanie posts or wrote something and I liked it, that doesn't count. I have to respond to Stephanie and say, Stephanie, oh, that's a great comment. I do love that movie. That's wonderful. The one that went 7th grade humor here, the one that really went crazy was insert the name of a movie followed by In My Pants. I did not know that was going to go crazy. Rick looked up at that one. I did not know that was going to go crazy. I canceled we were supposed to go to a movie, but we didn't go. I stayed home and just did this because I did not know that post was going to go off the chain that day. Ask questions about which of these 4 kitchens do you like? And whichever one they pick, just go, oh yeah, I like that one too. You're just building that connection. You're building the conversation. By the way, in this picture, nobody picks number 2. Nobody ever picks number 2. What goes on top of your Christmas tree? People have an opinion about what should go on top of a Christmas tree. Just have those conversations. This will sound like it has nothing to do with housing. It has everything to do with building the conversation so that when you post about your new house, it shows up. Because most of you post about your house and not much else. So Facebook doesn't know what you want to talk about. Okay. Okay, here's the thing. So if depending on how many Facebook friends you have, go to the list of your friends, scroll all the way to the bottom. Just let it keep refreshing and get all the way to the bottom. Print that page to PDF. Take that PDF and work from the last page to the top. The people at the very bottom of the list are the ones you haven't talked to in ages. The people at the top of the list are the ones you talk to the most. You may not need more leads. You may need to go find the people you haven't talked to in ages and refresh your friendship. Okay? A lot of us are out there doing top of funnel work, waving our arms, please bring us more leads, we need more leads. Go to the bottom of your friends, print it to PDF so that you don't have to keep scrolling each time, and work from the bottom up, because your CRM, this is an extension of your CRM, you're ignoring the bottom 80% of your friends. Most of you are only talking, mirror to my own face, I'm doing this too. Most of you are only talking to the top 20% of your friends on social media. But we friend all these other people and we don't keep up with them. Go to the bottom, print it out, work from the bottom up. I would love to see people work through at least, a page or 2 of that every couple weeks. And you don't have to go do anything major, just go to their page, look at their puppy and go, oh, cute puppy, isn't that sweet? I love your puppy, how are you doing? That's all it takes. But we have to put the time into doing that. Okay.
So Bob, real quick, Colby asked, so is the best strategy to post on our business page, then share to our personal one?
If it's about a house and business, yes. If it has nothing to do with a business or a house, don't do it. Put it on your personal. Okay. And I would say that you need to put 80% of stuff on personal before you put anything on your business. There are very few people out there who will turn you in for posting about your business on your personal wall. I would err on the side of personal wall most of the time. Okay, you have to have the business page to stay in terms of service, but Facebook is too busy policing other things right now. They're not looking about whether a realtor put it up there, about a house on their page first. But if you put it on the page, it's basically locked down until you buy an ad. If you just put it on the professional page, it's locked down because Facebook wants you to buy advertising. And by the way, Facebook is about to get cut in half on their advertising budget because Apple phones are going to cut them off from using Pixel. Apple phones are not going to let you follow anymore. That's going to totally wreck Facebook's model. And Facebook put a notice out to Apple users to scare them. If you don't turn it back on, we may have to charge you to use Facebook and Instagram, which is a stupid idea because they'll just all run to TikTok. So it's going to be interesting to watch these monolithic companies fight each other over content. And in the meantime, we figure out what to do to make money. I'm sorry, that was more answer than you asked for.
That's good. Good answer.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Instagram stories, Instagram posts, you have stories and you have posts, and it's it's probably more than we need to get into here. I'm skipping a little ahead. Let's talk about this and we'll wrap up with this. Who's read the Social Styles Handbook? I love Social Styles Handbook. I like it more than some of the other personality tests that are out there. We have analyticals. Analyticals love charts and graphs. They don't start a process till they know where it's going to end. Don't talk to them. I'm thinking. They are usually very introverted. As an extrovert, I tend to attract partners who are analyticals. I don't know why. Drivers like quick decisions. Drivers want not a lot of chatter. They've already made up their mind. They can come across as rude because we've already made up our mind and we're moving on. Okay, drivers just don't want to fuss around. They don't abide fools and they're just moving forward. Expressives. I want to talk about everything. Tell me about your vacation. I love your dog. Oh my God, that movie was so good. We just love to talk. And when we're mad at you, we're going to get mad. And then we'll have to explain why we're mad afterwards so that you understand what we're thinking. Okay, amiables. I don't know. Where do you want to go? We don't make decisions. We want to go where the crowd is going. We like to be in the middle and avoid conflict at all times. And if we're mad at you, we'll tell our friend because you should know you hurt our feelings, but we don't want the conflict ourselves. Okay? Think about this. Think of who you are, and then think which site is right for you. Each of these sites are designed around different personality types. I have some people who are like, I hate Facebook. It's all puppies and recipes and funny stories. I'm like, well, then you need to be on Twitter. If you're a driver, Twitter is like, 280 characters and done. Okay, you don't have to do. You're going to love, LinkedIn. You're going to love things that are very business and not very, fun. Analyticals love LinkedIn, Twitter. I think Xbox is a social media platform. I will go down swearing about this because while you're shooting things, you're on the microphone talking to your friends. Yeah, I was out showing a house today. Da, 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 da. And I had an inspection today. Bam, bam. Whatever. It's a great place people hang out. I don't play Xbox, but I think it's a social media site. Amiables are going to love Nextdoor. They want to hear about Sally's flowers and stuff like that. They love Pinterest, things they can like. Oh, this makes me feel cuddly and warm. And I love amiables. I'm not picking on them. Expressives, we're going to love everything that has to do with chatting and talking. We're going to love YouTube, things like that. So when you're looking at social media sites and you're just not feeling this one, think about what personality type you have and where you would be a better fit. Okay? Because I think what we try to do is shove everybody through the Facebook or through the Instagram or through the TikTok. That's just not our jam, but we can be amazing at this other site. And we can get business off it. We don't all have to be on the same site. God, did I say that? Yeah, we don't all have to be on the same site. We can be on different sites and be stealing business off of those sites and not be where everybody else is if we want to. Okay, final couple slides here. If you see something cool, steal it. There are no, I steal memes all the time. Always, if you're going to steal something, download it to your own phone and then upload it again. Don't share off a Penny site. Penny will get the credit for the share. Download the meme that Penny put up and then repost it yourself. I love you, Penny, but I'm stealing your stuff if I like it, okay? Tag things, share again. I love to go through memories and steal from myself a year or 5 years ago and put it back up there again. And I look for the things that had the highest level of response, okay? Thank you for attending my TED Talk. Any questions? I
Okay,
did
I'm,
skip
I'll
a little bit
unmute
over time.
everybody. If everybody can just be nice and not drive him crazy. Okay, ask to unmute. Okay, let's see if I can unmute everyone. Hold on. Mute all. Mute. Okay, unmute all.
They're
Yes.
unmute.
Okay, so people should be able to talk now or hold on. Oh,
There we go.
ask to. Hold on.
That
Yes,
was
I'm
great.
being
Thank you,
blonde
Bob.
today.
I know we're gonna have a lot of questions.
Allow participant. You can type them in
Thank
if
you. It was very thorough.
Somebody,
Oh, wait, Bob, hold on. I've got, somehow Bob got muted. I'm
Okay.
playing.
Oh. somebody had asked earlier, Bob, are you willing to share these slides or is this something that you hold on for training?
I will share the slides. They may not make a lot of sense. A lot of it's my content, but you know, I'm happy to share them.
You're awesome.
I'd
Thank you.
prefer not to see them show up in somebody else's presentation later, but I will steal your meme. Don't steal my slides.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Okay, now I'm trying to unmute everybody and it's just not participating. It's driving me crazy. So hold
All right.
on.
Well, everybody should be able to unmute themselves, right?
You could ask to be unmuted. Yes.
You can
Or
also
go ahead and
unmute
put your
yourself.
questions in the, excuse me, go ahead and put your questions in the chat box, whatever you need to do to get the questions out there.
I'm hearing Rob Mueller has it. Okay, Rob, well, he's talking, maybe talking to somebody. Raise your hand if you have a question. How about that? If you raise your hand, then I'll go by and ask to unmute you. Anybody? Let's go back to the next page.
We've got a lot of screens here. I'm trying to catch up with you.
Yeah, if you see anybody with their hand up, let me know. We do have a
Okay,
lot
guys,
of-
this is your opportunity to talk with Bob and ask him questions. Jump in, please.
I know I went really fast through the IDX section, so I apologize for that. I was trying to jump on into the social media. I just think that we don't pay enough attention to our IDX. We go right to social media and start paying people lots of money to drive people to us. And I really think we need to go back to step one and then move to step two.
Okay, now everybody's, I cannot believe everybody's not unmuted, but let's just not worry about it. It looks like we don't have a lot of hands up, but if you have a question for Bob, you could just direct it back to your coach and we'll direct it over to Bob for you. And we will get the recording out for this because it was awesome information, just incredible information. And Bobby, you're so funny. My gosh, you know, you need to do stand up or something. I'm serious. This is hilarious. Okay, let me unmute Kay. Kay's talking. Hold on. Kay, yeah. Okay, Kay said something and we'll figure out.
I was laughing saying, these are absolutely awesome. You should be a stand-up comedian for sure. What I'm wondering is what jacket are you wearing for the summit? If you guys haven't seen Bob and his jackets, they are worth tracking him down and finding him. It's awesome.
Oh wait, and not letting him unmute. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Okay, Bob, unmute yourself, buddy.
Well, I know he can't. He's saying,
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, the mute button is driving me crazy over here because I'm asking to, you know what we'll do? We'll just say thank you, Bob, because it's the bottom of the hour. Great call. We're going to give a big kisses and hugs to Bob and everyone here for coming to this event. And we love the information, Bob. Everyone's saying it.
Take care, guys.
Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and enjoy and buy yourself some flowers, get a massage, do something fun. Don't work on Sunday. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Okay. Thanks, Rick, Sandra. Bye, guys. Thanks.